Hey guys, what's up? So we continue Women in Horror Month with a pro-feminist slasher horror comedy exploitation rock and roll film from 1987, and tonight's movie is Slumber Party Massacre II. Now, I reviewed the first Slumber Party Massacre, and I really liked it. This one, I hear, isn't as good as the first one. And I do know that this film is actually kind of a ripoff of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which really wasn't one of the good Nightmare on Elm Street films. But basically, this movie has to do with an all-female rock band, and they go to this condo for the weekend. And the main character is the younger sister of the survivor from the first film, I think. And her older sister's in a mental institution, and basically this girl's all grown up now, and she keeps having these dreams about this weird guy with a guitar chainsaw thing, and all these other weird dreams about her sister and the mental institution and stuff like that, and then suddenly her dreams start to become real. Alright. Let's just give it a watch, shall we? Also, this film is from cult female director Deborah Brock, I believe. I think it's Deborah Brock. But basically, this was one of the two films that Roger Corman hired her to help write and direct. The other one, which I can't remember the name of, looked really, really bad. So, yeah. Let's give it a watch, shall we? So the film opens with credits and shots of our main character sleeping, and she's dreaming about some guy, and then it turns into a nightmare suddenly, and she has flashbacks of the previous film, which is a really nice sudden change from just some normal, like, opening credits to slasher film. So Courtney, she talks to her mother about the nightmare, and it's a reoccurring dream. And she also has a scrapbook with news clippings about the murders that were committed that she witnessed. That's it's not weird. So she gets a ride to school from her friend, and then they sing a song together, and that's a really cringy, painful scene to watch. Let's see, after a day of school, they have band practice. They're all female rock band, they have practice. And their music really isn't that great. And then she asks out her dream guy, which literally it is her dream guy. It's the guy that she saw in her dream just like 10 minutes ago. So, I kind of stopped writing there because I've heard that this film really not a lot happens until like the last 20 minutes, and that is kind of true. Not a lot, at least horror-oriented happens. Alright. So, this weekend we had two underrated horror sequels in a row. The acting in this film was pretty laughable, same with the writing. The characters are flat, but goofy and stupid enough to enjoy spending your time with. The gore effects are really good. Well, not really good, but pretty good. The camera work is about average, and the lighting is good. And then once the actual killer shows up, the lighting becomes kind of like the lighting in the vampire movie Vamp, or in Dario Argento's Suspiria. I would definitely compare it to that. Our killer, who has a giant drill guitar thing, he is a really, really cool character. And I think he deserves his, his own movie. Not Summer Party Massacre 2, just his own movie on its own. Yeah, he speaks mostly in lyrics and to rock songs and stuff like that. The music here is pretty decent. The sound mix is okay. Really, this movie even though not a lot of happens to like the last 20 minutes, there's still enough tongue-in-cheek kind of 80s slasher film stuff going on to keep it interesting. Stuff like bad dancing, excessive nudity, booze, drugs, sex, nightmares, skinny dipping, blow-up dolls, topless pillow fights covered in wine. Did I forget to mention nudity? And blow-up dolls. Yeah. So, not the best slasher to come out of the late 80s. Definitely not the best slasher to come out of the 80s. But it's good on its own. I mean, I really like it. It's definitely underrated. On the gore meter from 1 to 10, 1 being something like The Corpse Grinders, and 10 being something like Brain Dead, Slumber Party Massacre II is probably about a 4.5. It really isn't that bad until like the last 20 minutes. Up until that, you see a couple flashbacks of murders, and there's a few scenes that are kind of really funny and surreal. Excuse me. Really, this is one of those sequels where, in order to enjoy it, you have to be able to turn off your brain and not question everything. You know, if you want to like this, if you want to enjoy this movie, you gotta realize something. The killer in this movie, known as the Driller Killer. So in this movie, he's a psychopathic, like a greaser with a guitar drill, and he sings and dances and smokes and like drinks wine and all this other shit. Like, he's kind of really over the top kind of rock and roll guy. And this is supposed to be the same killer from the first film. In the first film, the killer had like no personality. He didn't talk. As far as I remember, I don't even remember his name. I don't even think he had a name, honestly. So, it's supposed to be the same guy, and that is a bit confusing. Also, the thing about her having dreams about this guy before he even shows up. And the fact that this guy is supposed to be human, but he can seemingly teleport. This is where people like to draw the conclusion that this film is a ripoff of Nightmare on Elm Street 2. But honestly, I still really like the movie. I'd probably give it a 3.5 out of 5, maybe a 4 out of 5. I'm not really 100% sure. But anyway, guys, I'm Biscuit Boo 69. The links to the Facebook page, Twitter, Tumblr, all that are in the description below. Rotten Cotton t-shirts, where I get my horror film t-shirts, most of my horror film t-shirts. The link to my friend Chloe, her cosplay channel and makeup tutorial channel. Be sure to check her out if you're into that kind of stuff. I'm gonna sign off and watch, I don't know, I'm gonna watch something. Peace.